die on the day that the blind man sees you.
Most dangerous man on this earth.
They weren't just warriors. They were dreamers, adventurers, and kings, people who dared to go beyond the edge of the known world. Their story is one of danger, discovery, conquest, and transformation. This is the epic tale of the Vikings and how they helped shape the world as we know it. Our journey begins in the year 793. Off the coast of England, on a quiet island called Lindisfarne, monks lived in peace until something terrifying arrived. Long wooden ships cut through the waves, and out came fierce, unknown warriors. They stormed the monastery, plundered its treasures, and vanished back into the sea. That brutal raid shocked the world and marked the beginning of what history would remember as the Viking Age. Came from the cold and rugged lands we now know as Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. They didn't form a single nation. They were many tribes, united by language, culture, and one powerful drive: survival. Their homelands were harsh, winters were long, land was scarce, and hunger was real. So they looked outward, to the sea. Armed with legendary longships, sleek, fast, and deadly, they became the most feared seafarers in the world. They attacked coastal towns, sailed deep into rivers, and appeared without warning. But raiding was only the beginning. They soon turned to conquest. In 865 AD, a massive Viking army, known as the Great Heathen Army, invaded England. This wasn't a band of thieves. It was an organized force of thousands, led by the legendary sons of Ragnar Lothbrok, Ivar the Boneless, Ubi, and Halfdan. They swept through the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms like wildfire. Northumbria, East Anglia, and Mercia fell. Only the kingdom of Wessex under King Alfred the Great held its ground. After years of fierce battles, a compromise was reached. The Vikings were given land, called the Danelaw, where Norse customs and laws would take root. But they didn't just take land, they made it home. They farmed, built towns, and raised families. The city of York, renamed Jorvik, became a Viking stronghold. At their peak, over 200,000 Norse settlers lived in the British Isles. Even today, traces of Viking life remain, in the names of towns, in dialects, even in everyday English words. So who were these people behind the helmets? Yes, they fought, but they also created. They were master shipbuilders, skilled blacksmiths, traders, artists, and storytellers. Their belief system was rich with gods and legends. They honored Odin, the wise all-father, Thor, the thunder god, and Freya, the fierce goddess of love and war. They believed brave warriors would enter Valhalla, a place where fallen heroes feasted forever. But time changes all. As they settled in foreign lands, the Vikings were introduced to Christianity. Churches replaced pagan temples. Norse rituals faded. Many Viking leaders even converted, blending old beliefs with the new faith. The height of Viking power in England came in the early 1000s. In 1013, King Svein Forkbeard of Denmark conquered England. When he died, his son, Cnut the Great, stepped into his father's shoes, not just as a warrior, but as a ruler with vision. After his father's death, the English chose to bring back their old king, Ethelred. But Cnut wasn't done. He returned, fought hard, and won. In 1016, after the Battle of Assendun, he was crowned King of England. But Cnut wanted more. By 1018, he also ruled Denmark. In 1028, he conquered Norway. For a time, he controlled a vast North Sea empire. England, Denmark, Norway, and parts of Sweden, all under one crown. Cnut was not just a conqueror, he was a unifier. He worked with the church, gained support from both pagans and Christians, and even made a pilgrimage to Rome in 1027. The Pope recognized him as a Christian king, something no Viking before him had achieved. But empires rise and fall. When Cnut died in 1035, his sons couldn't hold the kingdom together. The unity he built slowly crumbled. In 1066, one final Viking king tried to reclaim the English crown, Harald Hardrada of Norway. He invaded with force, but was killed at the Battle of Stamford Bridge. Just weeks later, England faced another invasion, this time from William the Conqueror, a Norman. He defeated King Harold at the Battle of Hastings. That year, 1066, marked the end of the Viking Age. But the Viking story didn't end there. They left a legacy that still lives on, in language, law, and culture. Even the word Thursday comes from Thor's Day. They weren't just raiders, they were builders, lawmakers, dreamers, and navigators. Their courage changed history. They set sail with nothing but stars above them and wind in their sails. They explored the unknown. They ruled distant lands. And for a moment in time, they ruled England. The Vikings proved that greatness isn't just found on the battlefield, it's found in boldness, in vision, and in the will to go where no one else dares. And it all began with the sound of oars slicing through water, the cry of war horns echoing through the mist, and the arrival of a long ship on an unsuspecting shore. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Aster POLO TV, where history comes alive.